So anyway, good
Okay.
evening, everyone. I hope they can hear me. And my name is Alfie Roder, immigration lawyer and principal lawyer at Roder Lawyers. And I've been in practice for nearly 17 or no, more than 17 years. So almost 18 years na rin. And I started as registered migration agent. And so I know specialized talaga ang immigration law. And we have assisted many engineers and 42 nationalities around the world. Okay, may mga engineers from India, engineers from Colombia, from Italy, from Canada, all over the world, okay? So yung Philippines lang, medyo nahirapan tayo because we are not yung CDR ang ano sa atin if you are a graduate from the Philippines. And that's why naano nyo na the aim of this, okay na ano yung group nyo, Engineer Jules, yung
Yeah, yeah, oo,
experience.
yun na
Yeah, na
na
the
ano na
aim is
yung
to
society.
request for mutual recognition. Parang
Mm.
ano, ibang countries na even if they have graduated from that country, other countries apart from Australia, but they are recognized, no? So maganda yon. Okay. So I think I will not mention too much of introduction about myself. Diretso na tayo sa ano nga ba or paano ba mag-migrate sa Australia ang mga engineers? What are the pathways? So there are many pathways aside from skilled migration pathway. Pwede kayo kung meron kayong employer na mag-sponsor sa inyo, then you can be sponsored under the employer nomination scheme or under the temporary skills temporary short stay. Tama ba 'yun? No, TSS, temporary short stay, yeah. TSS subclass 482. So ito yung mga pwede kayong sponsor directly by the Australian employers if they are happy to sponsor you. But if you have no sponsor, then pwede kayo sa skilled migration program under subclass 189, which is skilled independent visa, subclass 190, which is skilled nominated visa, so depende sa state, and then the subclass 491, that is a skilled work regional provisional. Hindi siya permanent ang 491, but the 189 and the 190 is they are permanent visa, straight permanent. So anong kailangan? Magta-Taglish ako para
Yeah,
mas
go ahead,
maintindihan.
attorney.
There are
Para
Filipino
mas ano yung
naman. Pwede
discussion.
rin,
Mm.
oo. So to be eligible to apply for a skilled migration program, ang una niyong i-consider is your age. So kapag 45 and below kayo or under 45, then go ahead. You can apply, okay? So check na yan sa age. Second is what is your nominated occupation? Of course, ano tayo ngayon, solid engineers. So you can, either use your or use a nominated occupation as a civil engineer, mechanical engineer, electrical, chemical, ano pa ba, telecommunications field engineer, electronics. So lahat ng engineers. And the good thing with that, it's under, ano ko lang I will just confirm. It's classified under the uh, lahat ng engineers, I think, classified under the medium long-term strategic skills occupation list or skills list. So what does it mean? Kapag naka-classify yung nominated occupation mo, of course as an engineer sa MLTSSL, it means you are also eligible to apply for a subclass 189, which is skilled independent visa. So all over Australia, you can live, work, and study. So all over
Mm.
Australia. Compared doon sa 190, limited ka lang sa state na nag-sponsor sa'yo. Okay? So that's the
Mm.
difference sa 189 na as compared to 190. And then the third one that you have to consider, na-identify mo na yung skill mo, then proceed with the skills assessment. So mandatory siya because you cannot proceed applying for expression of interest and registration of interest, especially in Victoria, because need talaga or mandatory ang skills assessment. So the assessing authority for the engineers is the Engineers Australia. And the good news with Engineers Australia, they do not require work experience, okay? So, ang kailangan mo lang is competent English and CDR. Comprehensive, tama ba? Comprehensive or
Demonstration,
competency demonstration
competency
report.
demonstration report.
Competency demonstration report, okay? So that's all you need to present to the Engineers Australia aside from your credentials, school credentials. Then once you have the positive skills assessment or successful skills assessment, then you can apply now for the expression of interest. But you have to calculate your points because skilled migration program is a points tested visa. So ibig sabihin 65 is the threshold. Actually last 2 weeks ago may na-invite or during that invitation sa Victoria 70 points mechanical engineer. And then I have civil engineer on 85 points sa New South Wales, okay? So
Attorney, can
may
I
ano
just
na lang yung points. Yeah.
can I just ask a question, no? So
Sure.
ano
Sige.
ulit yung difference nung difference nung
Okay,
MLTSSL?
Ang MLTSSL so stands as medium long-term strategic skills list. Lahat ng occupation na classified under the MLTSSL, you can or you are eligible to apply under subclass 189. Okay? Pero kung yung occupation mo ay classified under the short term, so ang example niyan yung mechanical draftsperson, example niyan, no? Pero ang lahat yata, teka, tingnan ko ulit ha, kung lahat
And
ba ng mga engineers ay nasa, for example, chemical engineer. Let's
and I
see
understand,
kung saan siya
attorney,
na-classify.
yung 190, this is specific sa state, no? And then if I
Yes,
remember
yes,
correctly, you need to stay sa state for 2 years ba?
Okay. Actually, sa 190, kailangan mo magstay. Okay. Sa 491 muna ako sasagot kasi ano ko, 5 years no in total. So 3 years na 3 years temporary on 491 and then after that you can proceed for the within 3 years in the 5 years you can then apply for the permanent visa 191. Sa 190 5 years.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
So you must stay 5 years, not 2 years. I think it's 5 years. Am I correct? Yeah, I think 5 years. 5 years. Sa
They have
190.
to stay dun sa
Sa
particular
state
state,
na
no?
nag-sponsor, okay, sorry ha. Oh my God, my brain. Just 1 second para tama yung sagot ko. How long you must stay in this country? Sandali lang ha.
That's okay.
Visa.
Siguro
I think it's 5 years.
while you're looking for it, attorney, no, I'll share lang dun sa experience ko naman. Dun sa language test, well, dun sa mga budget conscious. Dun sa application sa EA, so you need to provide your language test, no. Ang nangyari kasi sa akin noon, kasi ang requirement ni EA ay, kung tama naalala ko noon, 6.5 lang eh. 6.5 lang as a band, and then so parang ano lang, parang kumbaga sa university pasang-awa lang, ganun lang. So yun lang din ginawa ko dati, pasang-awa lang. So hindi ako masyadong nag-aral, parang ano lang. So nakuha ko naman sa first take. Then later on, na-realize ko, dun pala sa second round, dun sa pag-apply ng visa, syempre pataasan na ng points dun. So yung nakuha ko ay nasa 6.5 lang. Umulit ako. So 'di ba sayang na parang nagdoble yung gastos. Dapat pala nung una inayos ko na para isang ano na lang, isang language test na lang. Siguro yun sa iba
Yes.
na ganun.
Yeah, kasi sa Department of Home Affairs, iba yung kanilang requirements sa English. Competent is fine. But if you want to be awarded with with 10 points for proficient English, kung IELTS, it's 7.0 in each test component. And then sa PTE naman is 65 in each test component, then you will be awarded with 10 points. Kung
Right.
superior naman, may 20 points. Pero sa assessing authority, kay Engineers Australia, acceptable ang competent English na 6.0. So babawi ka na lang doon sa being single, may 10 points ka niyan. And then more experience, may extra points ka niyan. So for example, more than 8 years kang nag-work as a civil engineer, then you will be awarded with 15 points. So kasi nga pataasan ng points talaga. Okay? So
Attorney, may
that's
nagbanggit sa chat, no, kinonfirm ni
okay.
Jet. Thank you for Jet, no. 2 years for 190. And then there's another question. Ito mukhang masasagot ko
Okay.
'to eh.
Sorry. Yeah, 2 years. Yeah.
May
Sorry.
CDR and positive outcome and currently nasa Pilipinas. Makakatulong po ba if maging member din ako ng EA while waiting for ng invitation? Thank you. Okay. Okay, so sa case ko, medyo parehas tayo ng case eh. Ito yung nangyari sa akin dati. So si EA kasi after magpasa ng CDR and then you have your positive outcome, there's actually another option na maging member ng Engineers Australia. Para malagay mo yung MEAOST dun sa post-nominal ng pangalan. Now, eto kanya-kanya to pero sa case ko, rinab ko siya dahil coming from Philippines, wala talaga akong kalaman-laman sa CV ko, particularly Australia. So naisip ko dati, kung maging member ako nito, at least masulat ko man lang na member ako ng Engineers Australia, para kahit paano may laban ako kapag nag-apply. So kinuha ko siya. Well, yun yung sa case ko. Naging effective din naman kasi parang napansin yung CV dahil member ng Engineers Australia, and then somehow may isip nila na kahit paano sinisimulan ko na yung process ma-integrate dito sa engineering community. So Jake, hopefully yun yung sa akin, Jake, pero di ko alam sa iba. Sige, attorney.
Okay. Saan na ba tayo? We stop sa sa minimum score of 65 points. So those are the things that you need to consider when applying for skilled migration program. So ang difference sa 189, as I have said, it's a skilled independent visa. You can work and live all over Australia. Hindi ka hawak ng state. But if you apply or being nominated under the state of Victoria, then Victoria, you have to live and work for 2 years. And then after that, you can then, apply. Pero sige, alam mo yung nababother ako kung 2 years or 5 years. Sorry minsan simple question, pero gusto ko kasi siyang tingnan sa regulation, but nagda-download yung Legend ko. But if it's 2 years, because I think
That's
it's
okay, attorney. You can just come back
maganda.
later on kung ano.
Sige lang. It's
I
okay.
have another question, attorney, no. Sa mga
Sige,
pinaset na
question
visa,
and answer na lang.
so we have 189, we have 190 and 491. Now, my understanding is itong 189 talaga mahirap to kasi dahil marami kang kalaban. And then di ko
Very
alam kung
competitive.
tama ang ang understanding ko. And then itong 190 medyo okay lang dahil kunyari kung sa Perth ka o sa Northern Territory ka, baka konti lang nag-apply doon. And then
Yes.
lalo tong 491. So essentially what I'm trying to get at is kung nasa Pilipinas ako, gustong-gusto ko talagang maging PR. Ano kaya ang mataas na chance na ma-PR ako? Alam ko na sa 189 marami akong kalaban. Ano kayang chance na meron bang ganong attorney? Meron bang ganong
Yes.
visa?
Yes. So sa tatlo, ang unang titingnan mo is kung wala kang lawyer, if you do it yourself, then explore mo ang ibang state kasi hindi lahat ng state, like for example in the state of Queensland, Brisbane, hindi sila nagre-require ng registration of interest. So may expression of interest na may registration of interest pa sa ibang state. Like in Victoria, 90 ang score mo. You applied EOI, sa EOI, hindi ka napansin ng 189, pasok ka sana sa 190. But because you did not apply or hindi ka nag-create ng ROI and hindi mo na-submit, then hindi ka napansin ng State of Victoria. So, you really have to make sure kung itong state na 'to, naghahanap ba sila ng civil engineer, ng chemical, actually before COVID, ang State of Victoria, tumatanggap sila ng engineers for as long as you have 5 years work experience, meron kang English na, say competent, kahit competent lang man, no, not competent. I think they require, proficient English. Tapos, especially if you are onshore, nandito ka na sa Victoria, priority nila yon, ipa-prioritize ka. But lately, hindi na yun yung kanilang way of selection. Tinitingnan na nila sa score. Kumbaga, lahat is welcome for as long as mataas yung score mo. So parang the best and the 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 best and the smartest, parang gano'n, the brightest, the
So,
best and the brightest. No?
tama ba? Is it fair to say, attorney, na lately ngayon, talagang pahirapan ng pagpasok? And then, but it doesn't mean na, kasi parang ano yan guys parang maraming entry to Australia. Pero pag dun ka pipila sa maraming nakapila, mahirap talaga. Pero may ibang options pala na kunti lang ang pila. baka pwedeng explore 'yon. Tama ba, attorney, yung ganong?
Yes, explore. I have one client. He's a mechanical engineer ng Sunmig. So, yung age niya medyo na rin, mataas na. So, bumaba yung score. Kasi, di ba, pag ang age bracket mo is 25 to 32, then you get 30 points. So, kung 33 to 39, 25 points. 39 to 44 yata, 15 points. So, the higher your age, although nababawi mo sa experience. Kasi, the older you are, the more experience you have. So, bawi-bawi lang sa experience for as long as you also work in line or align sa qualification mo. And halimbawa, civil engineer ka, then you work as a civil engineer, then it's really good. But, ang ginawa namin, because mababa talaga yung score niya, nasa 65, on his own, 50. So, naghingi kami ng 15 points kay 491 because 491, the regional area, will award you 15 points. Automatic yon. So, kung may 45 ka plus 15, may 60, hindi abot. Kung may 50 ka plus 15, may 65 points ka. Especially if you have also relatives living in a designated regional area. Halimbawa, sa Geelong, kung Victoria. But the whole state of Tasmania is ano nga ba? Territory. Tapos Canberra, South Australia, Western Australia, automatic yan sila. It's a regional area. So kung doon ka pupunta, mismo sa city, for example sa Canberra or sa South Australia, sa Adelaide, then hindi ka malulungkot kasi kahit nasa city ka, pero regional pa rin yung application mo, which is under 491. So, pwede ka rin doon mag-apply para matulungan yung points mo na mabigyan ka ng 15 points. So, kung may iba rin na mataas ang score but they were not invited. Kasi, for example, ano bang klaseng engineer na hindi siya napapansin. So, ang ginawa niya, pumunta siya ng Tasmania. So, kahit na eligible siya sana sa 189, but because ang taas na ng score niya, say 90. Nung pumunta siya sa Tasmania, 90 plus 15, may 105 points siya. Invited siya within 3 days lang. Kasi kailangan ng more tao.
Yeah.
So, that's how it works. So, very competitive and the the higher your points, the more chance that you will be
Mm.
invited. So gano'n yung ano,
Oo,
labanan, okey?
oo.
Pero
We
kung
have some
registered nurse ka, mabilis kasi may shortage, okey, may
may
shortage.
mga questions tayo dito, attorney, 'no. Pero
Sige,
bago ko
sige,
puntahan
oo.
yung questions, share ko lang din na so of course, kaya mahaba ang pila nun kasi malamang niyan nandun kasi yung trabaho, example Melbourne, Sydney. Kaya dahil
Hmm,
I mean nandun kasi yung trabaho kaya maraming nag-a-apply dun. So for those
mm.
siguro yung mag-a-apply dun sa Tasmania, sa Australia, well, sa balita ko, sa mga friends ko sa engineering, community, medyo nahihirapan sila maghanap ng trabaho dun. Pero, 'pag ano naman yan, 'pag nandito na, diyan lalabas yung galing ng Pilipino, madiskarte, eh. So,
Hmm,
diskartehan na
hmm,
lang para paano maghanap ng trabaho. Pero may question dito, attorney, 'no, is,
sige.
NATI, paano ba, NATI ba,
Nati,
NAATI,
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
a big
Nati,
a big
national,
factor in, receiving invitation?
Not a big factor, but it will add 5 points.
5 points,
It
'no?
will help. For
Mm,
example, you have 85 points, tapos you ano, meron kang naati, 5 years ang validity niyan if you take the exam after kailan ba, 2022. So, you have 5 points then magiging 90 points ka, nakakatulong. Yan yung ginagamit karamihan ng hindi na-invite for a longer time, sabi nila, "Sige nga makakuha na ng naati, pandagdag." So, back-up mo siya. But it's not
okey.
yeah,
Hindi
somehow
dapat
it's a
siya
big
ano, parang
factor, oo.
mm,
Kumuha ka
ah,
kung may pang-ano ka, may budget ka and you think it will, it will not hurt you kasi translation lang naman from
mm.
Filipino to English or English to Filipino.
Ito, attorney, hindi ko alam kung, pero guys, yung ibang questions pala dito kung highly specific baka balikan kayo ni attorney, Pero ito, we have, question for subclass 190 and 491. Puwede po bang umuwi
Okay.
sa Philippines para magbakasyon, and how long, or
Okay.
need po muna mag-lapse yung years within the state?
Okay. So, if your 190 is granted, may multiple entries naman kayo, okay? Multiple travel. Makikita nyo once your 190 is granted or whatever visa na permanent, nakalagay doon um, parang may expiry date siya. So, yung iba sabi, we thought this is a permanent visa or indefinite visa. Why there's 5 years? Travel facility lang yon. Ibig sabihin, pwede mong magamit yung 190 mo, back and forth ka, labas-pasok ka ng Australia, and then, say na-grant ang visa mo 2024, tapos 2029, that's 5 years, no, March. After 5 years, hindi ka na maka-travel unless you apply for a resident return visa subclass 155. Otherwise, mahirapan kang bumalik. But
Hmm,
it's not about your being PR, yung travel facility lang. Kasi ang rule, kapag naka 3 years ka ng temporary sa Australia, lawful stay, plus 1 year na permanent visa, so 4 years in total. After that, you can apply for citizenship. Kaya ang ginawa ng Department of Home Affairs or Immigration, 5 years lang yung travel facility. But it's not about your permanent visa kasi indefinite naman na
hmm,
you can stay in Australia
hmm,
hanggang kung ayaw mong mag-citizen. Sa 491 naman na case, kung in and out ka, halimbawa kasi ang requirement is you must live and work for at least 3 years and you have to present may requirement yan yung full-time or income mo. Dapat ang threshold is pina-follow nila yung threshold ng 482 which is 70,000 sa ngayon. So, kung hindi mo siya halimbawa umuwi ka ng Pilipinas nag-stay ka ng 6 months, so hindi mo masa-satisfy yung residency requirement na
hmm.
kasi bababa yung income mo while you were away. So, paano ka mag-apply ng 191? Kaya may window siya na within 5 years or in 3 years, basta 3 years na nag-stay ka, then in the last 5 years you can apply for 191.
Okay, another question dito, attorney, no? Medyo specific to eh. Hopefully ma-answer to
Okay.
natin. Currently employed in Victoria and waiting
Mhm.
for my assessment as mechanical engineer.
Yeah.
And then yung employer niya is willing to sponsor naman. Kaso
Okay.
gusto niya i-process yung sponsorship to direct entry 186. Now, 40 years old na siya. May chance pa po ba?
Yes, 45 ang cut-off. And
Ayun.
186 direct entry is a permanent visa. That's also a
Mm.
good option because wala kang kalaban dyan. And the good thing, ito wala namang employer dito, no? Kasi pag may employer, pag nagkakandak ako ng session, mahirap sabihin na sa employer, kasi minsan nagtatanong ang employer, may control or
Mm.
may laban, may may habol ba ako dito kapag ini-sponsor ko and then after na-grant yung visa, 3 months gusto nang umalis.
Right.
Under the law, yes, you can leave your employer kahit hindi mo tapusin. Pero out of sign of gratitude na lang, wag
Mm.
naman. Kasi wala siyang provision compared to 187, pero na-remove na ang 187 visa na direct entry din. Yun yung regional. Ito kasing 186 metropolitan 'to or kahit sa regional puwedeng gamitin. Pero yung 187 inalis nila. Yun, meron siyang particular section 137Q na hindi ka puwedeng umalis sa employer mo. Kailangan mo talagang mag-stay ka doon unless kung meron kang rason na for example, exploited ka sa work or
Mm.
hindi natupad yung nasa kontrata na sahod mo, then you can leave for as long as you
Mm.
made an effort to stay for at least 6 months. But sa 186 direct entry, 45 is the cut-off and puwede siya. Yes, puwedeng-puwede kasi wala
Mm.
siya for as long
Oo.
as ang i-satisfy mo lang diyan aside sa kasi 2 stages ang process ng 186 direct entry. The nomination for the employer, so it's all the company's documents and information. And then sa visa, ang kailangan mo lang i-satisfy 3 kasi direct entry. Number 1, yung age under 45. And then, so kung 40 ka, check. English, competent. And then the third one is the skills assessment. Skills assessment, valid for 3 years. And meron pang isa, sandali nakalimutan ko. 3 no, sandali direct
That's
entry.
okay, attorney.
Oo,
So yung
basta
mga ganyang
4. Oh,
specific
binigay ko na.
questions,
Oo, basta
I
yes
suggest
yun. Yes,
you
proceed. Oo,
contact directly attorney, no, kasi yung
yeah.
iba diyan hindi na maalalay. Pero
Oo,
may interesting question dito. I think ito, yung question is
sige.
ano ba options kapag fresh grad naman pero license?
Okay.
Can we apply
Alright.
for 189, 190?
Okay. Okay, for engineers, as I have mentioned before, the good news, the good thing is that there's no work experience requirement kasi you will use yung CDR, 'di ba? Hindi talaga kaya ang dami ko from other countries na fresh graduate tapos diretso sila
Mm.
kasi points tested pa rin. So there's no requirement compared to 186 na kailangan. Ay ito pala, sorry naalala ko na, mandatory to ha 3 years work experience. So hindi puwedeng 2 years lang, hindi ka puwede sa 186. So sa 189, 190, 491, wala siyang work experience requirement. Sa assessing authority at as well as sa immigration. Wala. Kasi kung wala kang points, wala kang work experience, 0 yung points mo, ang tanong, can you satisfy the 65 points? Kung mataas, superior yung English mo, siguro kaya. Tapos bata ka, yung age mo, di may
Mm.
30 ka na, tapos 20 yung
Mm.
ano mo, yung English mo, bachelor's degree mo 15, kayang-kaya. Yeah. Pasok pa
Attorney,
rin yung
siguro
points.
i-clarify ko lang yun, attorney, no, dun sa experience issue, no. Yung sa CDR kasi, attorney, yung paggawa kasi ng competency demonstration report, may 3 episodes yun na kailangang
Yeah,
sulatan
career.
ng
Yeah,
ano.
yeah, that's right.
So,
Mhm.
magiging handy actually yung experience ng attorney kapag kasi magsusulat ka ng episode major episode
Yeah.
dun sa
Mhm.
career. So kapag
Yeah.
may experience ka, mas madali siyang isulat. Ang nagiging
Yeah.
I think ang nagiging challenge nung mga engineers paggawa nun is ang unang lang tanong, fresh grad ako, like I mean kaka-graduate ko lang, ano isusulat ko dun sa
Mhm.
CDR? Well,
Mhm.
according dun sa guidelines sa Engineers Australia,
Uh-huh.
pwede mong isulat yung
That's
thesis mo,
true.
yung isang
Mm,
thesis mo, isang report na
that's
yon.
right.
And
Mhm.
then ang magiging problema mo yung second and
Yung
third, ano
pangatlong
ilalagay mo?
yeah.
So, I
Mhm.
suggest dun sa mga fresh grad dito, papasok lang sa
Mm.
workforce. Now, you know na kailangan mong gumawa ng report dun sa first year of employment mo kasi wala namang sinabi si EA talaga na kailangan this years of experience eh. Sinabi lang niya
Yeah.
kung meron kang major, kumbaga masusulat mo doon sa report. So, my suggestion is dun sa work na papasukan mo, try to be involved sa projects na
Mm.
tingin mo masusulat mo sa CDR. Try to volunteer on things or projects sa company na alam mo at the end of this project, siguro after 2 months na natapos yung project o 1 month, nakapag-design ka ng foundation, sabihin natin sa structural, nag-design ka ng foundation, nag-design ka ng shed, maliit na shed, masusulat mo yun dun sa ano. So isa yon. So I guess ang sinasabi na Tony dito, hindi mo kailangan ng sobrang experience para magawa yung CDR eh. Yun yung kasi
Yeah.
common misconception ng mga tao na nagtatanong sa akin. Kailangan ko ba ng 10 years na ako sa industry, gagawa ko ng CDR? Actually hindi eh. Ang tinatanong lang naman ni Engineers Australia is, meron ka bang specific project previously na ma-fulfill mo yung hinihingi niyang doon
Mm.
guidelines. So
Yeah.
kahit a simple design of footing sa structural o kung sa civil ganun, magagawan mo ng report eh, and that's it. It will
Yeah.
prove na competent ka as engineer.
Yeah.
Pero dagdag ko lang attorney no, dun sa nagtanong na
Yes.
graduate, sa case ko ito, I'm sharing my experience, hindi ako lawyer pero I'm just sharing my experience. Now, what I find is kapag pumasok ka sa Australia as grad, medyo mahihirapan ka dahil ang daming hindi ito sa visa ha, ito ay sa paghahanap ng work na related sa engineering. The challenge is kasi ang hinahanap nila someone talaga na at least hindi naman sobrang experience pero somehow nasa siguro between 3 to 5 years sa industry. Somehow hindi naman junior engineer talaga. So yun yung usually na-hire nila. Kung you start from grad, hindi ibig sabihin na hindi ka makakanap ng work dito. Pero you'll probably end up competing also dun sa mga grad na dito graduate sa Australia. So yun ang isa, kailangan mo rin i-consider yun. Sa case ko, i-share ko
Mm.
sa case ko, ang ginawa ko, nagpahinog muna ako sa Pilipinas. And then pag-apply dito, mabilis yung trabaho. Yun yung trabaho aspect hindi ito yung visa aspect. Sige, go ahead, attorney.
Okay. In line pala do'n sa experience sa Philippines, kung nasa Philippines kayo ngayon or kahit saang bansa, make sure na yung work experience niyo para hindi masayang, kasi strikto talaga si immigration. They wanted to see evidence or payment evidence, okay? Meaning kasi sa dami ng daming fake documents, kailangan talaga check niyo kung may SSS contribution. Kasi the other day meron akong civil engineer, ang problema, nag-work na siya for 3 years pero walang alam mo yung mga internal arrangement lang, walang contribution sa Pag-ibig, sa SSS, na
Mm,
mapatunayan na talagang or even sa BIR, yung payment of withholding taxes. So make sure na meron kayo niyan please, kasi
mm.
kahit anong trabaho, anong nominated occupation 'pag wala kayong maipakita sa immigration, they won't really, accept.
That's a good point, attorney, no? In fact, may
Yeah,
i-share ako
please,
diyan.
oo,
May
very good.
specific na nagtanong sa akin 'yan. She works for DPWH ito
Yeah, oo,
DPWH siya,
government.
project engineer. Pero ano siya, job order, JO siya.
Yeah,
So, wala daw sila SSS if I'm correct.
yeah.
Wala silang SSS, wala
Ano,
silang
'pag
record ng gano'n.
DPWH walang SSS, GSIS because I used in the
'Yun.
in
'Yun
the
gano'n.
government. So GSIS puwede Pag-ibig 'yun,
Mm,
pero minsan wala kasi nga contractual job order.
oo.
So maki-ano talaga kayo, makiusap kung puwede meron. Payslip kasi sometimes hindi siya acceptable kasi madali siyang i-fake, alam mo yung mga
Mm,
payslip. Pero 'pag meron kang SSS, GSIS contribution na naka-indicate yung pangalan ng employer, then good yun,
mm.
tatanggapin niya ng immigration. Okay.
And then isa isa din sa I guess lesson na rin is if you're planning to migrate, guys, no, ngayon pa lang, asikasuhin na yung mga documents nyo, particularly yung mga job contract nyo sa company. Kung wala kayo, kung nagtrabaho kayo tapos hindi ka nabigyan ng contract, pilitin nyo yung HR, nabigyan kayo ng contract kasi it will come handy dun sa application later. Yung mga contract, payslips, o ano man, any proof
relevant
na
documents.
na kailangan. Maganda yan kasi later on, pag nag-launch ng visa, mas marami kang in-upload doon, mas wala ganong question sa'yo. So yun. Attorney, may tanong dito, no? Meron
Okay.
po bang website na makikita namin kung ano occupation yung madalas na invite and ilang points yung na-invite?
Okay. You can go to the website, depende sa state, no? Kasi kanya-kanyang state, kung sa 190 tayo, different yung kanilang terms and conditions, yung kanilang criteria or eligibility criteria. So, like for example, sa WA, medyo sa offshore applicants, okay lang yun. Pero kapag onshore ka, kailangan wala ka sa state of Victoria para mag-apply sa state of WA, no? So, ang sorry Jules, ano nga yung tanong? Ano ba yung tanong? Sorry,
Yung
sorry.
question niya is tawag nito, website nung saan daw
Yes,
makikita.
search nyo lang,
Alam ko merong
invitation
ganito eh.
round. Invitation
Meron namang
round,
lalabas na
depende
ganyan.
kung saan ka na state titingin. Kung sabihin mo invitation round for state or for civil engineer state of Victoria, may lalabas. Meron
Yeah.
silang pinapublish, okay?
Okay,
Or
another
sa
question.
website ng sige, go ahead.
Another
Jules.
question, attorney, no? Medyo specific to. Nag-lodge siya ng Visa 190. After lodging Visa 190, lumipat siya sa New Zealand from Qatar. May effect
From
po ba ito
Qatar.
sa visa grant?
From
Need ko ba?
Qatar, sandali. Ay okay pa kasi outside pa naman siya. Wala pang control sa'yo si ano, hindi pa na-grant, 'di ba? Nag-lodge pa lang. So kung
Oo.
palipat-lipat ka, update mo lang yung address mo kasi importante 'yun na wala ka na sa Qatar para sa police clearance mo 'yan. Okay.
Yan.
So kung wala
With
ka sa
regards,
Qatar,
another question, attorney. With regards po sa salary threshold na 70,000 annually sa Visa 491, affected po ba yung mga nag-grant dati na Visa 491 nung nawala yung salary threshold?
okay.
Masyadong specific
So
to, no?
the law cannot be applied retrospectively. So kung nag-grant ka prior to July 1, 2023, ibig sabihin 53,900 lang yun, yung threshold ng granted before. So ang 70,000, kung ano yung threshold na nag-grant ka, yun yung i-follow mo. Kasi nakalagay naman yun dun sa terms and condition. So 53,900 kung previous. Yeah.
Ito.
Previous to
Attorney,
July.
ito. May ano siya, I'm currently employed and nag-lodge po ako ng iba't ibang EOI ko per state. Now, makakapekto ba sa ibang EOI ko per state kapag lahat ni-lodge? Okay lang po ba yon para for more chance of inviting per state?
Yes, that's okay. We did that for our clients, multiple EOIs, no problem. May sekreto lang dyan. Don't lodge na isang ano lang, isang application kasi ititik mo lahat. Mabablock yan. Pero kung different state, different documents, or different account, pwede. Yeah. No, wala siyang effect. Ma-invite ka, marami kang invitation kapag lalo na pag mataas yung score mo.
Ito, another question, attorney, no? Student visa holder siya ngayon. And I am ongoing my skills assessment for Engineers Australia. And what if may positive outcome ako? Pwede po ba ako mag-proceed ng 189/190 o 191? Or kailangan kong tapusin ang student visa ko before ako makapag-apply for that visa?
Okay. Kung wala ka ng planong mag-reapply for student visa para hindi mag-contradict sa GTE statement requirement or GTE requirement, then you can apply for the 189 or 190. Pero kung may plano ka pa, halimbawa hindi ka pa na-invite tapos mag-apply ka ulit ng student visa, then 'pag nakita ng may case officer kasi na maano, matiyagang maghanap ng records, tapos nakita niya may pending application ka, then that will now contradict your statement na you will only be here temporarily kasi may evidence na nag-apply ka ng permanent. So,
Mm.
kailangan ingat lang and think firmly, like mag-apply ba ako ito na ba yung last ko na student visa? Kung yun na yung last mo para mag-485 ka and then you back to back, you apply 189, 190, 491, then that's fine.
Mm. Guys, in the interest of time, no, meron tayong 10 minutes remaining. I'll try
Yes.
to ask the questions, pero if in case hindi ko matanong yung questions you can always contact Attorney Roder. May information naman. We'll send you some information paano siya i-contact. Kasi iba dito specific yung tanong eh. So
Libre na yun. Kasi we do charge our consultation, but tonight, 'di ba, nag-ano tayo, dahil sa request ng group ni Engineer Jules, I am like nagbigay ako ng free advice and pero kung gusto niyo ng one-on-one, halimbawa hindi kayo nakakatulog dahil bothered kayo sa mga issues and concern niyo, then what is $330 but your issues and concern will be addressed, okay?
Yan.
Right.
Actually, sa earlier attorney, sinabi ko sa kanila na sa case ko nag-DIY ako kasi medyo standard yung case ko eh. Pero
Yeah.
looks like marami dito na medyo hindi standard yung case nila. So I highly suggest seek professional kasi mas magaguide kayo. Attorney, dito balik tayo sa slides, attorney, meron ka ba bang ano dito bago tayo mag-questions ulit?
Siguro ano na lang, natapos ko na yung main part.
Mm.
So ang proseso niya, submit expression of interest kapag meron na kayong positive skills assessment and English test, no? Tapos alam niyo na 65 points, then you will receive an invitation kapag talagang na ano niyo, na-attract sa inyo ang skill select or ang state of Victoria or whatever state, and then wait for the decision. Basta make sure lang na whatever you claim sa EUI, kasi doon nagkakamali, maraming na-invite, yun pala may mga mali-mali sa claim ng points, then that's risk for refusal. So make sure na everything is correct. Kumbaga, yung claim nyo na points, kasi may provision yan na kailangan at the time of invitation, whatever your points that you claim, tama yon. Pwede siyang tumaas, wag lang bumaba. Kasi once na nagkamali ka, nag-claim ka ng 10 years work experience, yun pala 5 years lang. Kasi yung iba walang ebidensya, then maglo-lose ka ng 5 points. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Tapos make sure, sorry. Ito importante. Yes, go ahead.
Sige, go ahead, attorney.
So importante din na kung may nakita kayong alam ko maraming anong tawag doon, yung parang maraming mga unscrupulous agents or individuals na nag-o-offer na we can get your visa or we can grant you a visa or whatever na mga promises sa inyo. Please be vigilant kasi every day sa consultation ko maraming umiiyak kasi na-charge sila ng $30,000 or 1 million pesos in exchange of a visa. Ito may mga engineers na victim, accountant, nurse, iba-ibang nominated occupation, okay? Nagtiwala kasi nga may pinapakitang minsan yung iba they claim that they are lawyers. So make sure to verify mo yung credentials nila kung magtiwala man kayo sa iba. But if you will do it yourself, then make sure then na confident kayo kasi sometimes it doesn't look like it's simple as what Engineer Jules said before na sa kanya nag-DIY siya because it's standard. But what if it's complicated?
That's right.
And you don't want, imbis na nagtipid ka, ayun na-lose mo yung opportunity kasi mali yung mga information na binigay mo. So that's all about
a good,
it, I think. Yeah.
I think that's about it, attorney, no? Dito
Yeah.
sa, hindi ko alam kung nakikita niyo yung screen, ito yung contact information ni attorney. Pag may tanong kayo, you can reach her dun sa email niya, info@roderlawyers.com.au. Yung mga nandito sa Melbourne, may office siya sa Collins Street. Ito yung same building ng consular office, no? Philippine Consular
Yeah,
Office.
Philippine Consulate, yeah.
Consulate, ayun. So, and then sa side sa engineering, well, I can only speak sa engineering sa experience ko. So, pag may questions kayo, happy to take your questions as long as kaya kong sagutin, ano. Based sa experience ko, kasi hindi naman ako qualified magbigay ng advice, no. Ikukwento ko lang yung mga naging experience ko dati. So, as much as I can, I'll give some answers, or kung hindi ko man kabisado yan, I'll refer you to someone na makakatulong sa inyo. And I think that's it. Thank you for attending this session, no. And attorney, thank you very much despite dun sa
Yeah, no
emergency.
worries.
I hope
Oo, sorry talaga. Actually, akala ko I cannot make it, pero sabi ko hala, yung iba alam ko na yung iba siguro nag-absent or nag-rush papunta para maka-join. But thankfully, I was able to make it, and I hope na nabigyan ko kayo ng advice or nasagot kung alam ko maraming tanong, no, kasi there are
marami
75
pa,
people.
marami pang questions.
Siguro we will in our next session, depende kay engineer kung kailan ulit.
We'll
I'm happy
probably
to
do another session siguro
Yeah.
regarding dito, kasi marami talagang questions about sa visa.
Yeah, pwede tayo, question and answer na lang, kasi basta kung ano yung pinaka na-confuse kayo, then I'm happy to give the answer, okay? Yeah.
All right. Sa mga nagtatanong pala kung may kung ma-share to, I would say yes. Guys, I'm new to this webinar thing, no. So I have to check paano yung recording nito. I'm pretty sure na naka-record to. And then I'll share it to you guys, ang recording nito, para mabalikan nyo. If in case may nasabi si attorney o ako na hindi siya fit dun sa, kunyari nag-Google kayo, just
for
kasi
now, i-ano nyo lang, i-ano lang natin, like yung 2 years, nababother pala na ako 2 years of private. Sorry, simple things, kailangan ko kasi siyang i-research kung alam ko simple question lang yan, Diyos ko Lord, but hindi ko nasagot ng tama or on point. I'm still not convinced with my answer na 2 or 5, okay? I'll get back.
No, I'm pretty sure, attorney, because of what happened today, maybe
wala talaga. Alam mo yung nakakita ka ng dying. Buti nga ngayon, lang, kasi sanay na rin ako sa pag-conduct ng ganito, kaya okay lang. Pero nandyan pa rin yung mukha ng mother-in-law ko. Sorry.
Ayan. Hopefully everything will be okay, no, from your mother-in-law, no.
No.
All right, guys, thank you very much, and thank you for attending. Attorney, thank you very much, and good night, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, the pleasure is mine. Okay, thank you, and ingat kayo lahat. Sige, bye.